This video will discuss how to read a CINAHL record, how to obtain the full text for an item, and how to email items to yourself. Once we've created a good set of results and narrowed down to have a very precise list of records, now we can investigate each of those records to see whether we're interested in obtaining the full text. So, the first place we would look is obviously looking at the title of the article. But when I click on the title, I now open what we call the record for that item. So we have the title of the article up top, the authors are listed, their affiliation, so where they work, the source is the journal in which it was published in, so both the journal name and the journal abbreviation, as well as the other information about how to locate that, so the month, date, volume, page number, all of that information that you will need for the citation later. It also tells us what type of publication this is. So here we're looking at a research article. It's about a randomized controlled trial, and it's going to include tables and charts. We also can see the language in which it's published, the subject terms that are related to this item, and when we list the minor subjects, that means that they're not large enough topic to be considered a major subject, but the item does address these. But very often we'll find in the minor subjects things about the type of research study, the types of instruments that are used, the population group, that type of thing. So here we can see t-tests, so a type of statistical analysis is coming up in the minor subjects. Obviously we'll most often have an abstract, so this is going to talk about what the research article is about and give us some information that we know whether this is going to be relevant before we track down the full text. We can see which journal, type of journal we're looking at. So here we're looking at a peer-reviewed nursing journal. It's based out of the US, and it's going to give us some additional information about the actual study. So here it gives us the instruments that were used within the study. You'll see some grant information, so this actually was supported by a grant, and additional information for retrieval. So there's a Medline indexing number that's related to PubMed, the dates in which it was entered here, and the DOI, which is the unique identifier for this particular record. Go back out here, and we can choose a different one and just to investigate a little bit further. And so we can see the very similar information that's listed here as well. We have authors' affiliations, the abstract, as well as the types of journals that we're looking at. It also gives us some information about the publisher. All of this information is very relevant when we go to actually cite the item. So in this case, we have all of the tools on the right-hand side of the record that allow us to do a number of different things with the item. Here we can click on Cite if we wanted to see all that information as a citation, or we can choose to email this item to ourselves. So I wanted to email this particular item. I clicked on email, and I can email it to myself, choosing to email it in APA. If I want to email a number of different items to myself, I would simply choose to add them to a folder, as I've done here, and I scroll back to the top. I can see which items are in my folder, and I can view my folder here, or up here at the top I can see it's open and there's items in the folder. So I choose to view the folder, I select which ones I want to send, so I'm going to select all of them, and I'm going to email these to myself. So I click email, I enter my email address, and again I can choose to send this to myself in APA if I like, and I can email it to multiple addresses if I would like to do that. So this is a way in which I can keep track of the records in which I want to investigate. Now in this case it's going to send me the citation for this record and a link back to CINAHL for the full text. Unless the full text is available right here, it's not going to include the full text. In this case I don't have a PDF for full text, so I would want to click on the Get It at Oakland, and it's going to try to link me to the full text of that item. So here it's taken me into this journal. Now in some cases it'll take you right into the open page of the journal, and in this case I'm going to have to browse to find it. So I can see here, this is where all this information becomes very important. I can see the date, the volume, and the issue, and I want to browse to find that item. Another example would be I click on the full text, find the full text. So what the system is doing is that because the full text is not available within CINAHL, it's going to look within all of the other databases and places that we have subscriptions to find that full text. And in this case, it's taken us right into the journal, the Cancer Nursing, and right to the article. And now I can click on article as a PDF, and I can download this to myself. Download this and email it to myself, or I email it to myself with the link to the full text from CINAHL. So there's a lot of different ways in which to obtain that full text.